Okay guys, welcome back to the next section of the course. This is all about how to create the perfect YouTube video. After the planning section, which I've already mentioned is the most important, I think, this is the next most important part. This is where you get all the hacks, all the information offline from all the people and all the things I've tested, I've researched, you put it all together and I've got it in a nice, neat package for you. I developed this. This is a cheat sheet that I made myself. When I went away traveling, I took all the information I'd taken offline. I'd watched so many videos, listened to so many people who'd grown great things, been on the YouTube website, looked at what they had to say, and I came up with all the things I need to make sure I have in my videos. For example, in the first 5 seconds, just sum up your video so that people know what they're getting, or make something funny. Make sure the viewer keeps coming back, give them something to come back at the end of the video for. Things like this, set up my problem to the video. If the video has a problem, how are you going to solve it? Set it up right in the opening. There's loads on here. In the middle, talk to and involve the viewers, ask a question to get comments. When I finished, leave on a cliffhanger or a reason to come back and subscribe to see what happens. Subscriptions, asking, other social medias, end screen graphic. There's loads. There is loads and loads and loads on this cheat sheet to get myself the perfect video. Every single time I put out a video, I want to make sure I'm optimizing it. I want to make sure I'm getting people subscribing. I want to make sure I'm getting them watching for as long as possible. I want to make sure they're clicking on my other content, on my cards, on my end title screen, everything. That's why I put this together. So let's get all the information that I put up here and I had to go and research. I've now got in this nice, neat course for you. You are welcome. So let's go through this section. You're going to understand every single part of a video, from the title, the description, the actual video content, end cards, screens, all of that stuff. It's all in here. So let's go through this start of the course. We're going to start on titles, how to optimize them, how to do the best titles possible, because they really, really matter. So let's go and do that now. Don't forget, there is a cheat sheet for this. There's a cheat sheet for every section. If you need to print them out and fill them out, I've got a print-friendly version. I've also got a PDF version so you could type and you can use it on your device. They're both available. Don't forget to go and download this. Okay, let's go and talk about titles. Okay, so let's talk about titles. I have some great information here about how to make your titles better. And I really wish when I started I had this information. Okay, so you've probably got a list of titles from your competitors. We did that in the previous section when we talked about planning. So you probably got yourself 30, 60 really good titles. And also you've had to kind of think about your channel, where you're located and what it is you're able to do. So you should have at least a list of maybe 30 titles, and now we need to optimize them to make sure when people search for the similar content that you're creating, that you are going to come up at the top of their results, or if not top, quite high, and if then you're going to be suggested on videos they are watching too. This is really important. Okay, so keywords. Let's start with keywords. So you need 1, possibly 2 familiar keywords that really are kind of the essence of what your whole video is about. Let's say, for example, here I'm going to type in insurance. So with this keyword insurance, I can see it is here, it is here, it is here, here, here. There is not one video that does not have my keyword in there. This is really important. This is your most searched keyword. So maybe 1, maybe 2, and the rule of thumb is to have that as close to the start of your video as possible. Let me show you with SpongeBob. So I did search SpongeBob SquarePants earlier. Also, this is another thing. If you hover over here, you can see what YouTube is trying to suggest that you search for. These are ideas to make videos of too. So SpongeBob SquarePants comes at the start, comes at the start, comes at the start. There are also ways that you can try and find some better keywords. So I've already spoke to you before about TubeBuddy, and this is TubeBuddy, and I've been searching some titles here to try and get what is an excellent result here. Let me have a look. So for example, let's go back. So The Crown. Maybe my title was The Crown. Maybe The Crown is my keyword. I'm making a video about the series called The Crown that's on Netflix, very popular. But at the moment you can see this is a really poor result, 11 out of 100. What that means is that here, search volume is huge. People are really searching this. It's very popular right now. Competition though, there's a lot of competition, meaning it's weighted poorly, meaning there are a lot of people making content about it with that title. I'm not going to show up very high. So what can I do here? I can look at other keywords down here. These might be keywords I actually put in my video keywords, and we'll talk about those later. But as far as a title goes, let's have a look at this. So if I did The Crown Season 4, let's have a look what happens there. The search is low, competition is too high for that as well, so the result is 2 out of 100. Don't go with that. Let's go with The Crown Season 4 reaction. Okay, now we've got 96 out of 100. That's huge. much more improvement. So the search volume is not quite as high, but there's not much competition doing it, meaning if someone does search something like this, then I'm going to come up higher. Are they really going to search the word reaction? Maybe you want to put that in your title in capitals. We'll talk about that in a bit. What else is on here? Crown Season 4 reaction trailer. So trailer reaction, that's also another good result. So TubeBuddy, this is a way to either try and optimize the title you already have and make it just slightly better in the search volume, but also it's an idea for future titles as well. I'd fully recommend getting TubeBuddy. It's a really, really good resource. I've spoken about it in other videos where you can have it active when you go on other people's content of similar channels, and you can see the keywords they're using and how they score and compare. It's a really, really good tool. Okay, so I said that putting your keyword at the start is really, really important. Have it as close to the start as possible. That is always the case, except for 2 reasons. One is if you're doing a how-to question, and remember YouTube is a huge search engine, second largest search engine after Google. So if you're doing a question and someone's searching how to, then that goes at the front because you want to speak like a human, how to do X, Y, Z, how to find, how to, whatever. Also numbers. If you're doing top 5 or the date of 2020, let me search here. If I search best video cameras, so that's all I search, that's my search. And the first things that come up are best video camera in 2020. Here's a number, 9 best entry-level video cameras, 2020, both date and the number. Here we go, 2020, 4K, top 5 picks, numbers, 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 date. And then we finally get one that isn't. Okay, so you can see right here that that's really, really a good piece of advice to add in a number if you can, if not the date, really important. I would always do that. So also, how long should your title be? So 70 characters is the key number. We can see if I go back onto where I was, that all these titles are pretty concise. Look, really short. And remember, anything after 70 characters is going to have ... and they're not going to see it anyway. And you kind of want, someone doesn't want to be questioning exactly what your video is about. Don't want a whole jumble load of keywords. Want it to sound like a human question, be concise, so they know what they're getting when they click on it. There are 2 reasons they're going to click on it. One, they searched and YouTube shows them based on title, and then there's thumbnail. So this is probably the second most important. If not, it's the first for search, the second when someone's eyeballing YouTube. So this is really, really important. Now we can also talk about eye-catching words. So let me look here. I typed in camera skills and I look at this. Okay, let's go photography basics in caps, 10 minutes. So we've got a number. We've got a number here that you must know. Even that's 2018 and that's still coming up high. Quick, trick is in here. New is a good one. Mistakes is huge. Those kind of shocking words are really important. So I guess what we're learning here is that the best title looks something like a number, top, or how to. Your title with a keyword as close to the start as possible. Then we might put a date in there or something, and also have a shocking words, new, something like this. We're starting to get together the perfect title here, which is really exciting. So you can go through your list now and you can start optimizing. Now this is all on the cheat sheet, of course. All my cheat sheets are either available, if they're printable and you need to fill them out, there's a print safe copy version that's more white in color, or there's a PDF version you can fill out, or a sheet like this is giving you the top tips. You can print them out and you can remind yourself to start building on the perfect title. I really wish I had this information when I went and I just had to go and trial and error and destroy it all. But these are really good tips. So go through your list now, go through your top 30 and start using those tips to try and start making these like most optimized titles possible. Okay, so that was titles. Go through and do that. That's your homework. And I'm going to see you on the next video. We're going to talk about description. Okay, so on to description. So you've made your video, you've uploaded, and it needs to have a description below it. Why does it need a description? That's because people need to see what the video is about. Now, if I go back onto one of my examples using the last one, best video cameras here, you see these titles here, top best 4K camcorders. Filmmaking industry is getting bigger and bigger. So this is where it shows up. Now there's some things you can do to make that. I mean, imagine you've got the option to go on and you're going to choose one of these. They all sound like a pretty good title. They've all got a pretty good thumbnail. There's nothing making you choose one or the other. For example, then this is going to be the only last thing. Also, YouTube is going to use the first part of this description in their algorithm to suggest videos too. So at least the very first part of this description is really important. Now, there's no better source to find information. There's loads online if you go on and search what is the best video description YouTube. But why don't we just go straight to YouTube itself? The YouTube Creator Academy. They've got some resources on there. They don't have loads of resources. It's not a course like this, how to start, how to go on, but they do have some great information about the description. So what do they say? And these are pretty much tips that I've got on my cheat sheet too about what to do. So write searchable descriptions. So in your description, it's broken into 2 sections, and we're going to get into that in a minute. It's the first couple of lines that you see, and then there's the rest of the description. That's where someone has to click show more, and it goes down and shows the rest of the description. So in that first part, this is what we're talking about here. Giving an overview of what your video is about using natural language. Always sound like a human. Don't just chuck words in there. It's not going to come out well. You're going to get penalized for it. Put the most important words together at the beginning of the description. Remember your keywords we spoke about in the last section? Have them at the start. Some people also duplicate their title almost in the start of their description. There's something in that, or to change it slightly. Identify the 1 or 2 main keywords and put them prominently both in the description and the title. If there's matching, and that's another TubeBuddy thing too, if there's matching title and in the description keywords and those first 2 sentences in the title, it comes out well. That scores well with YouTube. Make sure you do that. And then avoid irrelevant keywords and also spammy type language or anything that looks like you're just trying to get clickbait material. Avoid all that. Okay, so this section, I just pretty much said this a moment ago. Make sure that each video description is unique. Don't just copy and paste it all over. Maybe there will be an element of copy paste when you're putting in links and stuff like that, but make sure each description is unique. And also the first few lines, like we mentioned, are about the video, like a concise description about the video, because YouTube uses that, and everything else that's below the click more section, use that for the social links, etc. So then there's descriptions that viewers can use. So these are quite important. People use timestamps. If you just put in the timestamp 00.15, when someone clicks, it's going to go to 15 seconds. Now you can do that if you're breaking up a video. If you're reviewing 5 different things and you can go to each part of that video, someone can skip through and they can use that. Or you can tell them, hey, I'm going to talk about this. If you want to hear about this, you can skip to the section, the timestamps below. These are really good. I use these a lot. I used it if you ever watch a boxing match or something, sports or something, they always do this, they break it down a lot. You can also link to playlists and related videos. If they like this, they might like another one. Have a little click on there. And don't forget, of course, if you're linking external sites, make sure you use the http://. Okay, so hashtags. Hashtags is the last little thing I want to talk about. You can use hashtags in your description. If you use hashtags in the description, 2, 3, I'll go and check in a minute. It's going to come up below the video. Let me go and have a little look and see what I've got, because I tried this on my channel too a long time ago before I destroyed it, broke it down and made a course out of it. One moment. Okay, so here's what to do in Bangkok. So obviously this is years ago. This was in 2019 when I did this, and I did not know about using dates. I did not know about putting numbers in there. I did not know about shocking language, blah blah blah. So my title was not great, but look what I got here. 3 hashtags: Dan Britain, Thailand and Pattaya. These were tags that people were searching for. Now what I would do with this is I would pretty much hashtag your channel and I would hashtag your character, whatever it is you're about, something specific to do with you. So when people click on them, they're going to get more videos of you. Look, if I click the hashtag Dan Britain, which was the channel name I did, it comes up with all videos about me. Now if I go back and I click the hashtag Thailand, it doesn't come up with any videos of me, right? It comes up with everyone else in the world but me. Why do I want to put someone else over onto there? And also if somebody searches hashtag Thailand, which no one's going to search a hashtag, it's still not coming up with anything with me. So I would use it hashtag only your channel name and only about you, so when people search you they find your content better. But that's up to you. I mean, you have an option. I think 3 hashtags will show up below the video. You put more in there, they're not going to show up. So put 3 at the bottom of your description and utilize those. Okay, so I want to come over and I just want to show you an example of a description. So I haven't checked out what this is yet. I've searched Nick Nimin. Let's do this first one here. Get more subs, views on YouTube. Let's see what his description is like. So I pretty much trust this guy to do a good job. Let's see what he has here. So right before the show more, learn how to get more subs. Okay, great. And what was his title? More subscribers, probably a keyword. Views on YouTube, free advice. What's he got here? Get more subscribers and views on your YouTube account. Ask the questions from below. It's free. Okay, he's got those in there. You see the matching here between the first part of his description and his title. And then he talks about TubeBuddy and discounts, and here's a link to his TubeBuddy account, which is going to be an affiliate link. We're going to talk about making money in another section. Then if I click show more, now he's got his links to his other affiliate links and his social media and everything come below here. Also they've got playlists. So here's his playlists, people that might want to. So you really utilize this area to get more people to stay on your page and looking through your content. You've got books on here, everything. Ask your questions here. Here's his hashtag. So he's using Niminati. So that's his tag. So he's only putting one on there, which is coming below his video right here. So he's utilizing that, like I said, for his channel name, for his channel following, his tag, exactly what he's using it for. And then he's got his merchandise, which he didn't put, that comes up automatically. So that's an example of how you should be doing your descriptions. So below the where it says click more, that can almost be the same each time. You can click through to different playlists depending on what your video is about. Click through to similar playlists, other things they meant, like how to get in contact with you, social media, your website, all that kind of stuff, all below there. Make sure that bit above there is really spot on from all the advice we've got. It's on the cheat sheet as well if you want to go through, start playing. Okay, so welcome back. Tags. What are tags? That's what we're going to be looking at in this video. So tags are basically, to summarize it, tags are metadata. So what that means is it's an opportunity to give information to Google and YouTube about what your video is about. That's really important. Try to remember that. These tags tell Google and YouTube what your video is about. So don't overuse it, don't confuse it. Just think about it like that, okay? And we're going to get into that and more in a second. Now, we spoke in the last one about keywords and what your keyword is, and you've used it in your title. It's kind of a summarized 1-2 words about exactly what your video is about. If you can get it down to one, great. And you need that keyword as your first tag. That's really important. There's kind of a ranking process for your tags. So obviously you can have more than one tags, and there are quite a few tags in there, but I wouldn't use too many. That's a rule, okay? Kind of basically as a rule, have your first keyword as your first tag. Then your second, third, fourth tag, have them either the other keywords that are in there or kind of similar keywords, synonyms of that keyword and other stuff like that. And you get less and less important as you go through. So to reiterate once again, your first keyword, word for word, reiterate your keyword in your title. One you want to rank for. The keyword you want to rank for first. First keyword in your tag. For example, if it's camera tips, camera skill tips, whatever it is, that's your first keyword. Camera skill tips, whatever it is, whatever you want to rank for, whatever summarizes your video, whatever people are putting in and searching for and you want to rank, that's your first keyword. Remember that. Then your second, third, fourth and onwards, similar, okay? Remember, if you're using TubeBuddy, like I mentioned, you can go through and you can just select, it will drop down and it will select other ones for you. And I'll show you that in a moment. TubeBuddy is something I spoke about and it's something we're going to talk about. And I'm going to upload a video in the next section, step by step, so you can see me do that when it gets to the section where I'm adding in these tags. You can see that happen. You can see it drop down and do it. But we're just going over generally what tags are today. So that's what it is, okay? Use a mix of more broad and more focused tags. For example, if the tags how to do a pull-up, how to do a pull-up better, how to best do a pull-up, best way to do pull-ups, stuff like this, right? And also you might put that with some broad ones like fitness, how to get fit, home fitness, fitness COVID, this kind of stuff. Now don't go overboard with tags, okay? I'm gonna put a screenshot here on, let me get it on my computer, I'm going to screenshot it right now and put it on the screen. Okay, so have a look at these video tags, right? Can you tell exactly what this is about, this video from the tags? If you were looking at these tags, would you be able to tell me and explain to me what the video is about? In here I can see blogging, businesswoman, life tips, full-time blogging, but the first tag is the healthy maven, full-time blogger, food blogger, California blogger, farm fresh to you, unboxing. I'm not sure I could tell what this video was about from the tags. If you're confused, YouTube and Google are definitely confused. This means you're not ranking and you're not going up high in the search results because of these tags. Instead, perhaps you want to stick to 5 to 8 tags and be more precise and concise in exactly what your video is about. Let me show an example right here. This is from this great site. Okay, let me grab this and put it on screen now. You can see here, this one, the video is called Top 5 Passive Income Ideas 2018, and tags are passive income, financial education, passive income ideas, how to make a passive income 2018, ways to make passive income, etc. So you can really tell exactly what this video is about from the tags. Okay, so I've mentioned TubeBuddy before, and I'm going to go onto screen here and share with you Keyword Explorer. So this is really important. So say I just did a video, so it's going to be like Thailand open tourists, okay? Let's see what it says. So let's explore this. And you can see straight away that some related tags I'm going to have here. So this is great because there's not a lot of search, it can be optimized. When is Thailand open for tourists? Thailand open for tourists. And you've got all the tags here, Bangkok travel. So these are your more, so the related searches like I mentioned, that you're going to want to put in high up in your keyword terms. And these are your more general, more broad. But don't forget, whatever your title is, if your title is Thailand is open for tourists, this Thailand is open, Thailand open for tourists, this whole thing is probably going to want to be your title in your first keyword, sorry, as it's your title. Remember that. And all of this on your cheat sheet, don't forget you can go ahead and download that. I've got a printable, friendly version if you need to fill it out, or just a reminder for your keywords. So let's just summarize those into 6 points if you like. Number 1, this is metadata. Remember that, it's telling Google and YouTube what it's about. That's your first point. When you're telling these, when you're typing in these keywords, tell them what your video is about. Number 2, order matters. Your first tag is your main keyword, and then go down. Remember that. Number 3, use a mix of broad and more specific keywords. And you can use TubeBuddy, or you understand what I mean by that. We've explained it earlier in the video. Number 4, don't go crazy. Just because you have that many tags, don't go filling it out. More can confuse YouTube. Just put in what they are. Think about 5 to 8 concise tags. And a tag length, rather than putting like a whole sentence, try and do 2 to 3 words as your tags. People are searching for questions. People very rarely search one word into YouTube. If they wanted to search Thailand, best things to do in Bangkok, they wouldn't just put the word Thailand in. They'll do like what to do in Thailand. So they're going to be searching for more than one. So also your keyword should replicate that, 2, 3 words. And then lastly, use TubeBuddy if you want to get some ideas for different keywords and ones that are ranking well, and get all the inside information. That's what I would do. Also, you can go onto your competitors. That was the last thing I wanted to show you here. Let's go on to, so let's do Lost LeBlanc. He is another travel vlogger that I really admire and think he's great. Let's have a look and see what he's got on his videos here. This is Egypt, put on just a day ago. Let's see what his tags are. So like I mentioned with TubeBuddy, it's going to load up here on the right hand side. I can start seeing all kinds of stuff like about his channel, all his best practices. He hasn't put an info card. There's no info cards on this. That's interesting. But okay, here are his tags. So he's done Lost LeBlanc as his first one. So Egypt. So travel Egypt, Egypt travel vlog. So you can see these two here. He puts this because obviously he's seen his analytics that more people are searching for Lost LeBlanc, actually him for his most recent video probably. And then there's Egypt, travel Egypt and stuff like that. Then he's got some more. I wouldn't have had this many if I was him, but he's already got a following of 1.6 million. So he can pretty much do what he wants and still get views. You're starting out. But this is interesting. This is an example, and this is what you can do with TubeBuddy. You can go on to other people in your niche and other people making similar videos, and you can see what their tags are. That's why this is so good. If I want to, I can go copy, and I can just copy all his tags if I'm putting up a video just like this. It's really, really good. Okay, that was it. That's all I want to say about tags. Go and look at your cheat sheet. That's your homework. Next, we're going to look at cards. Actually, that's what he just didn't do there, right? Cards. We're going to look at cards next, what they are. Remember, all this stuff, when we go in to upload the video, we're going to do it step by step, but these are explaining what it is and why they're important. So, on to the next. Okay, so on to cards. This is going to be a really quick one. You're going to see me in the next video when we upload them where I put cards in, but there's just some points about cards, what they are and where they should go and why. So you've all watched a YouTube video before, and you can see that sometimes in the top corner something pops up that says, hey, watch this. They're great. Someone can click that and then go to the other video. What it means is they're leaving your video. If they're on desktop, it might pop up another window, which is fine. If they're on tablet or device, mobile, then they're probably going to go straight over to that video. So it's not always great, but that's why there are end screens, which is what we come to next. But cards, why are they important and when should you use them? So what happens is you might be talking about something in particular. You might say, remember that video I made where XYZ happened? Or if you want more information on that, I actually have a video about this, ping, it pops up and someone can click that and go and get more information. Now what it does, we're talking about device here because most people are going to be watching it on device, it takes them away, which isn't great, but maybe they remember that, or maybe on your end screen you're going to put the same video you spoke about on the end screen too. But it is good because also there's a theory here that you can look in your analytics and you can see where people are dropping off most. If people normally drop off a minute, 2 minutes, or you think they might start be dropping off, or you're out of information, you've done the most important bit of information, you can drop a card there. People are like, oh, I've already got what I needed from this video. Yeah, I'll watch something else. So you might do it on audio cues. which are when you spoke about something else and you want to plug that video, and you might do it at a drop-off point where you think people are going to drop off, put a card there so they stay on your channel, keep watching, but they're watching something else. Now, which video should you promote? Now, obviously, you're going to be mentioning stuff in your video, but you can think about and forward think what I'm going to be mentioning and mention the videos with the highest SEO potential. So you can see on your channel what is being watched the most, why and for how long, and what's making you the most money, whatever kind of variable you want to go to, whatever metric you want to use, but the one with the best SEO, the one that's clicked the most, the one that's done the well in the shortest amount of time. Have a look at that and think about advertising those videos. Now, why? That's because those videos probably have the best click-through rate and or audience retention, and that's what you want to do. You want to keep people on your channel, you want to keep people on YouTube, that's what YouTube wants, for the longest. The more time they spend in there, the more adverts they view, the more YouTube makes, the more it shows your videos, and it's that great big circle of life. So think about that. Now, I'm a fan of cards and I always use them. They're always in every single one of my videos, and it's one of the best practices to use. I can look at stats and I can see, when we do this in the analytics, you can see how many people click through on those cards, and it's not a great deal. It's probably better than end screen sometimes, maybe not, but it is something you should be used. Am I a fan of taking people away from my own content for more of my own content? Sure, if they were going to leave anyway. So think about your drop-off point. It's quite important, I think. But they should definitely be used, always be used. It's like kind of a shop window and you're only showing one thing. Instead of showing one thing, the one thing you really want to sell that I've just got in, but I've also, if you don't like this, I have other products in my shop window too. Think about it like that. You do want to show, definitely. You can only have a maximum of a certain number of 5 cards, I believe, at the end of the screen throughout your video, so you can't overdo it anyway, and I wouldn't overdo it. But they are a good thing to have. Definitely best practice. You do need to use them. You do need to utilize them. That's for sure. Also, keep track of this. Talk about it more in the analytics. You can see which card was clicked the most and percentage of click-through rate. That's how many times it was shown, how many times it was clicked through. So you can see what's working best and at what time it is. You keep a track what time people are clicking at. Where did you show it in your video? These are the analytics you really need to keep on top of. We do have a section on that, and when I upload the next section, you're going to see me upload a video step by step. You're going to see me add cards in here. But this was just an overview of what cards are, why they're important. You needed to know it. Okay, next section we're going to talk about end screen. Okay, on to end screens. End screens are important, I think really important. So if somebody has watched your video all the way through to the end, that's a really good sign. You can see in your analytics how many people drop off at what point. It's kind of rare that somebody watches a video all the way through. If they do, you have great content with great audience retention. Well done, you've planned this well. If someone gets to the end of your content, they like your content, they like you, that means you probably want to suggest them other videos. You don't want YouTube to then suggest what's next in a playlist, because that might not be something that's yours. You want to keep them on your channel for as long as possible. End screens are a great way to do that, because you can suggest 1 to 4 pieces of other content. You can suggest a website too, and subscribing. It's a great way. They've watched the video, they like it. There's a great big subscribe button there. It is a really good tool. So what is it? It displays for the last 5 to 20 seconds. When you upload a video, you get to choose how long that's on there for. I'll show you that when I upload in the next section. We're going to upload a video from start to finish, and you're going to see that. Now, it's important for the reason I just said, but also it's a great visual tool that you can use. So I often design a background to set these up to. So what I mean, and I'm going to show an example in a minute. Actually, let me grab this up on screen now. So this, for example, let me go on. I just uploaded this the other day onto that broken channel to see if there was any response from it. So this is an end screen here. What I have here are 3 elements. Here's a video, here's a link to an external site, and right here, this is a subscribe button. So when you come to the end of the video, and on the next section we're going to be uploading a video, like I said, you'll see all the different possible layouts. There are different layouts where you can put, say, your subscribe button here, you can put a video here, and then a website here. Or you can have video, 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 subscribe in the middle. Subscribe button here, video, video. You get to choose the different layouts, okay? So what that means is, if you know what layout you're going to have, you can design like this background. So this background here is actually a JPEG, a PNG, sorry, image that I've created that I can sit these elements inside. So they sit nicely and it looks nice. And I've got some information. Look, more info at my site, click through here. Another video you might like, and a subscribe button that fits in, also with some social media stuff. And a little call to action there. So if you know what the different layouts are, you can start making yourself in Canva, Photoshop, whatever you're going to use to create and design these. There's also loads of free templates you can get online and download just to give it a different element. Now, I'm not a big fan of having the video finish and then just have an end screen card come up. What I like is to have a video, like this. So I put me over to one side and I have all the details around me, and I talk about the details, and I'm saying, hey, thanks for watching. I've got another video you might like here. You might not know exactly what the video is going to be, because you can either set it at the end to be to a specific video, a playlist, or you can let YouTube decide what the video that comes up is. Also, if some of your video is age sensitive and the person is not signed in, YouTube doesn't know their age, it's not going to show it to them. So maybe you don't describe exactly what the video is, but you can say, hey, here's something else you might like. Go and check it out. Here's my site. Don't forget to subscribe to me. You can really interact with the end screen, and you can give more of a more personalized and better call to action for them to do any of those things at the end that are on the card. That's what I'm a big fan of. Have a little think and go and look at some of your competitors, other people in your niche, and see what they're doing for their end screens. There are really some good examples out there. Which video do you want to put at the end? You want to put your best video, probably. It has the best click-through rate. Whatever has the best click-through rate, whatever's shown the most times and people click it, it's going to keep them on your channel. Once again, if you think that's age restricted in any capacity, then possibly not. Then go to your next one that's open to all, because you don't know who's watching the video. But you can suggest that. If you see that a lot of people though are coming through to your channel that have already watched it, if like 90% of your views come from people that are already subscribed, then perhaps they've already seen that piece of content, and you can choose best for them, and YouTube shouldn't show them a video they've already seen. In theory. But think about it, just have your best one at the end. That's like a rule of thumb. Now, of course, like I mentioned, if you've got an external site like I had, you can send people there. Why would you send them there? It brings them into a 360 round love of you. It brings them to your website. You can also take their email address, your website, start collecting a data list, and then if you've got a data list, you can email them out when you send when you get another YouTube video up, or whatever you want them to do. If you're going to start selling something, you can promote and you can publicize yourself. If you want to send them to an external site so they get more of a picture of you, great. Do that. That's another great thing to do. Now we're going to go to analytics at the end, but there is a report for this. You can see an end screen report, and from that you can see what people are clicking on, where, why, and in what video. So maybe you said something different at the end of one, maybe they interacted better with a certain video. You should always look at that, but analytics comes at the end. But end screens, I can't stress enough. Also, it's a way for you to plug your social medias. You can put little tags there with your name, and people can see what it is, so they're going to come off, and maybe they go into the other application and they go on and check you out. There's loads you can do here. What I suggest now is you really think about what you want to show at the end of yours. You're going to upload a video the next time, you're going to see the different layouts. Start looking at some competitors. What I had, and behind me up here, oh, I had them right here. I had different layout ideas for different end screens, and I saw some competitors, what was going well, what I liked, what I did, and I designed them, and I started playing around with it. You should do that too, because once you've got one, you're going to then drop it at the end of your video. It's actually going to be on your video, and then you overlay it, but use the same one for each time. It's your brand, it's branding for your channel. So I would really start researching and getting this down. End screens are really important. Go and check it out. Okay, next is a real big deal, a big one. This is your thumbnail. This is quite possibly, your content needs to be amazing, your title needs to be clicked, but no one's going to go there if your thumbnail is not good. This is your shop window. No one is shopping with a window that's blacked out and doesn't look good. Your thumbnail's next, and it's really important. So let's go and talk about that. Hey guys, and welcome back to the next video. So this is all about thumbnail. This is so important. I can't stress it enough. And why? A thumbnail is your shop window. Now, I used this analogy before. A shop window. So imagine you're in a shop on the high street. You've got a great location. The great location is you using your title, keywords, and everything. You've got people to the right location. Now, they're in the right location, but your window display is absolutely tosh. You have got, it's too dark. You haven't really explained what the shop's about. You've got something incorrect in there. You're not showing off your best products. You're not showing a price. You're not showing any of the details. That is your shop window. That is your thumbnail. You spend all this time getting your title. It means people are searching something, that you're going to be ranked up higher. Or if someone's watching similar content, if you use your tags and your title, YouTube is going to suggest your content to them on the sidebar. You've seen this before, or the end screen. So you've done all that work to get there. Now you need your shop window to look good. This is your thumbnail. This is why it was important. That's why it is important. So there are some things you can do to make your thumbnail more click-worthy. This is something I've changed. I've changed all my thumbnails multiple times to try and learn this. I made some shocking, terrible thumbnails. I've also just left it to have a screenshot within, you know, that they're selected at the end. When we upload the video next, you'll see that YouTube generates thumbnails itself. I've tested that. I've tested with text, without text, different colors, all this other stuff. This is where I learned the most. And sometimes I put things up at different days with different types of thumbnails, and I put stuff up that's not on purpose, doesn't have a great thumbnail but great everything else, to see what happens. I played with this stuff. So let's get into some stuff that you need for a good thumbnail. Okay, number one, and don't forget there's a cheat sheet for this. print that out or have it on your phone, so when you're making this that you have those to go by. Well, now you've got this step-by-step guide, this whole planning, whole course, everything, even down to the nitty-gritty of the thumbnail. You've got a step-by-step, follow every single one of these and you're gonna have a successful channel. How exciting. Okay, where was I? Back, number one, add contrast to the image. Why? I'm gonna give you some examples and put them on screen here. 2 images, 1 and 2. So one of these has high contrast and one of these does not have high contrast. Why is that important? The images are often really small. Most people are going to be watching on their phone. It's going to be extremely small. You need your image to stand out. A wishy-washy image that people can't really make out instantly. You've got seconds, if a second, to grab someone's attention and explain what it is. If the eye can't pick up it's a face or whatever it is in there with contrast created around it, it's not going to work. High contrast your image. That's very simple on editing software. You often find the brightness and contrast. Lift the brightness up slightly, add contrast on it. That's what I do. Okay, so you can have a consistent layout to your thumbnails if you want to. You don't have to, but I would. It helps your brand. So you already know what your brand color is. You already know what your brand font is. You can start using this within your thumbnail. So if you have you cut out on the backdrop of some color, or maybe the border around your text is a certain color, you can start having that kind of uniformity to your thumbnails, and it just helps cement your brand. And when people have seen your content and they see another one again, they're going to understand and see it's you, and then maybe they're going to click if they've liked your content previously. It does just help strengthen the brand. Okay, adding graphics. This is important. If you're talking about something like Pinterest, if you're talking about Snapchat, whatever it is, have the logo pop up on screen. Also, what I tried with some stuff which really did work is, have you ever seen it where they got like a red circle like around something with an arrow to it? Like if you're talking about, I can't believe whatever happened, I fell over this, this was the most shocking part of the website that I found, you know, the website, and there's a circle with an arrow. People are more intrigued. What is that? They're drawn to it and click it. It's not clickbait if there really is something there. If you're making a video about I don't know, this pen, you know, picture go, I can't believe this happened, oh my god, it was so bad, arrow gone down and nothing really happened with the pen, it was a review, I wouldn't do that. But you know, if something shocking really did happen in the pen, then absolutely draw their attention to it, and it does help with the clickbait. Don't have to use clickbait in a negative way. Clickbait in an authentic capacity. It's needed. So think about using colors that will stand out on YouTube. Why is this important? YouTube, what color is it? It's red and white. It's quite simple. They're put in with 3 colors on the YouTube website: red, white and black. So if you make your thumbnails and your colors and everything, I made this mistake with my other channel. It was red. I was like, uniform of YouTube, people make an association. No, if I could do it again, much like this channel, yellow, I would do it again and I would change it. The colors are going to stand out. They're going to be the yellow, greens, blue. Like I would have something that contrasts YouTube. Otherwise it's going to melt into the rest of it. I've seen some people call it, have a boggy thumbnail. Blue, orange, green, yellow. Okay, yeah, it works. Use colors that are contrasting. You probably thought about this already if you're going to talk about your brand colors, and if it was red, then think about a secondary color to go along with it. Think about the color wheel. Remember that at school? What's opposite to red? Green. If you can make it stand out, use it. Okay, so use text on a thumbnail. Some people don't do this and they just have an expression, and it has seen it work. I really have, but I would use text. The mistake people do is they put their title text and put that on the thumbnail. You're just telling the same person the same thing twice. They can already read your text underneath it, your title. Why would you put that same thing on your thumbnail? That makes no sense. It's the same thing, you go to a shop and it's called the men's clothing store, and in the window you put the men's clothing store. Like, yeah, put sale, put whatever it is in the shop window, right? So put something else in your text, and I would suggest you make it shocking without being an authentic clickbait. Make it shocking, make it only a couple of words, not very much, and make the text big enough. If you need to put like a shadow around the text to make it pop out or something, or a border, maybe the color border we talked about, do that. Really do that. And on text still, you have to make sure that it's big enough, right? There's nothing worse than I've seen thumbnails look like this and they've got some text on the bottom here. These are tiny, shown tiny on the edge of the phone. People don't have that. Make it big text. If I'm here, put big text right here on the thumbnail. Really make it stand out. Now you need to track this. You need to go into your analytics and you can see the click-through rate. We talked about this before, CTR, the click-through rate. We talked about it in the very first video, one of them, click-through rate. What is the click-through rate over watch time? So this thumbnail is all about your click-through rate. You need to go in there and see if your click-through rate for one thumbnail was 3% and the other one was 10%. There's something in that thumbnail and that 10% that really works. You need to make a mental note, make a physical note, and copy it and do it. And if you see that happen again, go back onto the other thumbnail, change with the same elements, whatever you did, and then you can go back and see the date you changed that and see if there's been an increase in the click-through rate since then. This is what you need to do. Start getting into your analytics, and there is a section on that, but go look for your click-through rate. Okay, so you can use a logo. I know Vice do this and some other ones, and I have it on the corner here so that when people know your brand, they're going to see it again. It gives it some authenticity. Something you can use. It strengthens your brand slightly too. Plan ahead. So thumbnails are important, and quite often you want to try and, some people just grab an image from the video, and it's not going to be great quality because you're moving. It's not going to be good at all. Think about it beforehand. Some people know their thumbnail before they've made their video, and if you're doing it, you can snap a picture with your phone or whatever you're filming on your camera whilst you're there. People forget that. I forget that all the time. But if you can, that's great. Also, you can plan ahead and you can do a little bit of stock footage. So if you have you against a green screen or background and you have different expressions, shock, whoa, no, oh my god, all this like pointing stuff, then you can do that, and you can cut you out, and you can have like loads and loads in stock, so that when you have your thumbnail, background, whatever it is with the text, you can have these different ones where you're using it. If you plan ahead that well, you can have that stuff. So do that if you can. And on that note, faces, use faces whenever possible. I've seen some crazy analytics with faces with an expression on them, and again, you don't know, and everyone says that's so cheesy, clickbaity, but I will click on someone with a thumbnail with who I can see the videos about, and it's shocking, and with an expression, then I wouldn't. That's just human nature. We're drawn to faces. That's another thing. When you have a list full of thumbnails, we are naturally drawn to human faces. That's just in our evolution. We are always drawn to faces. So if you can have a face with shocking, maybe you got a text on there, you're an arrow, circle, high contrast, the right colors, you've started getting the elements for a perfect thumbnail. Again, look at the cheat sheet. There are some examples, and I've put some on this video, and go and experiment and have a look through yourself. Have a look in your niche, see which ones were good, ones were bad, what did well, and go and do some other research on this too. But they're pretty much the elements that I've found from my own research, all this mess back here, and my own research online. So go and check it out. Go and research and go and play. Start putting some ideas down. You've got your list of 30 or so titles you want to do. Start planning. What are they looking like? And if you've got a list on your cheat sheet, so I've got a cheat sheet coming at the end of this that I used when I was doing my video. When you've got your video title, you can start planning, what is my title, what is my thumbnail going to look like, what text am I having on my thumbnail for this. If the title is cheap hotels in Bangkok, is your thumbnail you in a hotel and I can't believe it, this was incredible, shocking, whatever it is, like start thinking about it and planning ahead. Okay. That was thumbnails. That's a really important video. I encourage you to watch this a few times. I have the cheat sheet, and really spend some time. If you're going to spend some time on something, spend some time on that. It's really, really important. Okay, on to the next video. We're going to briefly talk about getting social. Then we're going to talk about time of day release, and then onto the cheat sheet, and that's the end of this section. So I'll see you on the next video. Okay guys, so this video is called Getting Social, and it's about using social media after you've made your videos to promote them. Now there are a few schools of thought here, and I'm going to go through them. So it seems obvious, doesn't it? Really obvious. I've got a video, let's promote it on social media. And you should. Don't get me wrong, you should. You should promote them all the social medias you have and create them to promote them. The trouble is, social medias are pretty good at trying to keep traffic on their own sites. If you post to Facebook, Twitter, etc., it's not going to favor your tweet, it's not, or your link. It's not going to favor it amongst other people using content on that platform to take it away to a competitor. For example, if you were to post on Facebook just a link to your YouTube video, even though it's going to pop up with a thumbnail, etc., it's not going to be highly regarded, ranked, and helped by Facebook to take traffic away from their site onto YouTube. So what do you do here? Well, wait a second. Let me just go to my cheat sheet. So cheat sheet, as I said, we're going to do that in a couple of videos time. I've got it here that after I've posted, I had lots of stuff like comment on other travel post similar niche videos, etc., reply to everyone. Okay, then maybe I'll do some paid YouTube advertising. I will do a whole nother course on paid advertising for YouTube, Facebook, and stuff like that to get your video views. But for now, I've got like Insta post, and then Pinterest and tweet this, Insta story, YouTube in the comment section. I had like a tick sheet of what socials to make sure I put that video on after I did it. Now, at first, what I was doing is I was linking my YouTube videos on Facebook, and I was trying to grow a Facebook following. I was like following lots of people onto my personal page and asking them to go over onto the page itself for the channel. Now, I was putting up links and it was putting videos onto my timeline, but it wasn't getting very much engagement because people weren't clicking it and then going through to YouTube. Facebook wasn't helping it. Obviously, why would Facebook want to encourage someone to go away to an external site if you're not paying for it? Why would they? They want to keep traffic on Facebook, right? So what I did is I also uploaded the videos onto Facebook. Now at first, I did this thing that I tried too, that I put the video on Facebook, like the first 30 seconds or so, and then I said, if you want to see more, go and check out my YouTube channel, and left the link to it. I don't know, and I can see the analytics, and you can see it inside your YouTube. You can see where the best external like the external traffic's coming from. Like today I checked, and in the last 28 days, my biggest external traffic source is WhatsApp. So people are sharing the videos on WhatsApp as opposed to Facebook and anywhere else. So it wasn't actually there wasn't actually that much traffic coming from Facebook, meaning that wasn't working. Now why? Maybe the videos were too short, maybe still because there's a link in it to YouTube on there and stuff. Facebook wasn't helping it. Maybe people don't care. They're on Facebook, they're on there scrolling, they're gonna watch something and go, oh, I'm gonna leave here, go to YouTube. People aren't that bothered. Make it easy for them. So instead, what I started doing is I started uploading the whole video onto Facebook. I've got it on my Facebook feed that I'm on YouTube as well, so hopefully people come across and see it. But Facebook is its own platform. Now I can do another course about growing Facebook, but Facebook is slightly harder to get monetized on the content, but when it does, it's quite favorable. I've heard about people making lots of money with Facebook videos. But I upload the whole video onto Facebook. Because it's over a certain length, it also gets favored by Facebook. So I wouldn't concentrate by using external social medias to get traffic to your YouTube page exclusively. Do it, of course. Just your Pinterest, if you're going to use that. I'm not going to go into all different social medias and how to do it. But Facebook in particular, because that's probably going to be your biggest call after YouTube and Instagram, possibly, you might want to think about just uploading the videos solely to Facebook and having another monetized video platform to grow alongside YouTube. There'll be crossover, and within the videos you'll be telling them, hey, come and find me on YouTube, I'm also on Facebook, and people will go over naturally. It's quite hard to try and push people from Facebook to YouTube or vice versa. And as they're both monetizing video platforms, why would you? It's going to be harder for you, I can tell you this, the harder for you to get what's needed for Facebook requirements to get monetized, but it'll come eventually, and when it does, you're going to reap the rewards. I would simultaneously grow your YouTube and Facebook at the same time. That's just me. You can go in and research and do something else. I can only tell you what I've had, because there was very little success trying to bring people over from one platform to the other, and they're designed to exactly do that, not take traffic off their own sites. And I can also see in the analytics, something we'll go through in the analytics section, you can see what your top external sources are, and you can see why this doesn't work, or see that it doesn't work. So that's just something I want to mention about social. Have yourself a plan when you finished it, where you're going to post it. So you're going to tell people Instagram, Facebook, hey, I got a video here, got a video here. Maybe you want to have that on Facebook and send people there. Maybe you want to just say it is on YouTube and hope if you don't have a Facebook platform. It's completely up to you. I just thought I'd give it a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of insight about what I found, and you can do what you like with it. So that's it. Let's talk about time of day release next. Let's go in and talk about those. Okay guys, so time of day release, why is that important and why would it be different? Well, if you're making content that is in a different language from a country that's solely, or a small area that has that language in particular, then of course it's probably going to be a time of day. It's going to be quite specific. It's going to be one area, maybe it's after work in the evening in the country of the language you're speaking in. If you're speaking English like me, of course I have the UK, Europe, I have Australia, I have North America that also speak English, or lots of countries speak English as their second language. So there's lots of people consuming English content, which most of you watching this will also be making. Lots of people consuming English content at all different times from all different areas of the world. But you want to release your video at the peak time. Why is that? People are scrolling YouTube at a certain time of day. No, I've released at all hours to test this, even if I thought it was going to be rubbish. So people scrolling YouTube at all times of day. And if they're watching, it's already on YouTube, you already have footfall on YouTube, and your video pops up and it's there and it can be suggested, and then they're clicking on it, YouTube suddenly gets the message, oh, this person's video is being clicked a lot right now, because there's more people that want your type of content online and that time. Probably more people in general at that time, more content being clicked of yours. YouTube goes, I can share this more, and the click-through rate goes up, and then watch time, hopefully your content's good. That's why it's important. So without going into analytics too much, let me share my screen. Okay, so let me just look, this is 2019. So if I go over to analytics over here, right inside, and I'm gonna look at here, here's where I look, I took my channel off altogether, took it off again, like it broke it, spiked, video went viral, then I broke it, took it offline for a bit. Okay, so if you go into analytics under audience here, scroll down, here's like a heat map, okay? Now the heat map is pretty much telling us at what time people are consuming content the most. So my big days, look, Monday at this time, 5 in the afternoon. This is on GMT because I'm in the UK. So 5 in the afternoon is what, that's midday, New York, East Coast, and then in the morning, LA. So probably most people here are UK watching that, I would think. And it's why, like on Saturday at midday, look, I put it all UK centric times, although I know that my audience, so if I scroll down, I can actually see my top geographies here. India 3rd, that's because I'm talking about an area in Thailand that's very popular with Indians. United Kingdom 10%, 31% is United States and Australia. So these are different time zones, 1, 2, 3, 4. These two are Canada and US are the same, but all different time zones. So I'm trying to work out, so if I was going to release videos and I was going to release them, maybe I was releasing 4 videos a week, right? By this theory, I should release them at 5 o'clock on a Monday. I also make sure you got a big enough sample time, right? This is the whole of 2019, for example. Then I should then release at 4 or 5 in the afternoon on a Friday. On Saturday, I've got various times. It could be midday and then in the afternoons, busy all the way through to the evening, UK time. And on Sunday, it's all pretty much in the evening. Now, what you should do is you should try and release things. So as a rule of thumb, and there's loads written online, you could find loads of different things about this. As a rule of thumb, try and go somewhere like, you can see here from mine, in the evening after work time. Perhaps that's because people are consuming content on their way home. Let me see if there's a difference. So I didn't put up much content in 2020 at all, but people are still watching old content. Let me put 2020 on here, and it's pretty much identical, right? If not, it is identical. So I was going to do that because in 2020 less people are traveling home from work because of COVID. They're all sat at home, but they're still going on and using YouTube and watching my content at the same time. Here's the TubeBuddy recommendations. I've talked about TubeBuddy a lot, and this has a plug-in here. Look, if it tells me what time of day is good. Obviously these times, if I compare here, this is 12 p.m. This is on Eastern time by the looks of it, American time, because I can see that 12 is dead here, but 5 hours later. It's pretty good. So it's telling me my upload time just slightly before. It's telling me 5, which is, oh no, exactly here, exactly the busy period. So it's telling me here what time, USA, Eastern Coast, to release my videos. But I can see it from the heat map here, right? Now, yeah, like I was saying, so when you first put your video up, as a rule of thumb, I'm pretty much showing you here, release them around like 5, 6 o'clock on the weekends. Still pretty much around that time. So pretty much thought 9 p.m. was the best one. I was always putting it up at 8 and 9 p.m. which was a mistake. Well, it was okay. It was a way to test it out. When you first put up your content, you can also do that. I just thought people were sitting in bedtime scrolling my content, but now I've got a heat map with enough content of enough period of time. I can see that actually the best time I should be releasing videos on a Saturday later, possibly is a good time, but on any other weekday, it's all about 5 p.m. my time. Now, that's strange because considering a lot of my audience are US, but this could be all slightly skewed because it could all be US but on one video. For example, most of my videos could be watched. It could be 9% of all views, but that could all be on one video and all the rest are consumed by the UK, for example. But this time here, so 8 p.m, it's like 3 in the afternoon on a Saturday, and this is like midday Eastern time. But that's also early in the morning in LA, right? So anyway, you should run with stats. Always go with stats. So when you've put up, once you've done your first month, when you're in your first week, have a little look, play around with it, put stuff up. I'm going to tell you now based on mine, put stuff up at that time, but put stuff up at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then once you've got enough data over a few weeks, you can go and check it out. You should definitely be doing this. So that's upload time, and it's something that's very important. Okay, so that's it, that's the end. Next, we're gonna be talking about a cheat sheet. So everything you need to do. I had these cheat sheets, it looked like this. Mine was scruffy with loads of notes in it. A cheat sheet for each video. Before I made each video, I had this cheat sheet, and when I did it, and when I filmed and edited it, I ticked it off. Once everything is filled out in that sheet, you know you got the perfect video. Okay, let's go talk about that. Okay, so video cheat sheet, we've come to that section. So I've mentioned this a lot of times. This was my cheat sheet that I went through. I created this for when I went traveling and I made videos, and it was a kind of a sheet to make sure that I did everything I'd planned to do. You do all this planning, you have all these ideas, then you forget them all. I made sure that for every time I did a video, I printed this out, have on your phone, whatever, I printed this out, and I made sure I had everything down for the beginning, middle, and end of my video. Then make sure when you have the beginning bit, you know what is going to be in the video for when you're filming it, and also when you're editing it after. So you can use this sheet before, then it might change and scribble on when you come to edit, so you know what to do. But when you finish the video, you should be able to tick everything on this sheet. So I'm going to go through this, but of course, download this, But of course, download this. It's your cheat sheet, 1 page, 2 page. Go through it and have a little look at it. Okay, so beginning, I'm going to just read this straight from the sheet and then I'll explain it to you. So video concept from researching competitors and optimized on TubeBuddy or the YouTube drop down. So we've done this. You've researched, you've got your 30 titles or whatever, but you're going to go in and just make sure that's just right. So you might go into TubeBuddy, doing your title, put that in there and see if there's something very similar that maybe you want to concentrate on more. I had that example of The Crown, then it was The Crown season 4, still not good, and The Crown season 4 reaction. So perhaps it's now a reaction video. That's what you've discovered. Also, when you start typing into YouTube, it's going to come down with drop downs of stuff you might like or that's being searched for, common stuff. These are clues about what to do. Optimize your topic. Okay, so the first 5 seconds, the most important part of your video. Someone's clicked on it. They want to instantly know that what they've clicked on is what they wanted, or they're going to go off and find another video, go back. So is this the video they wanted for the information they wanted to get? So let me do this. First 5 seconds, sum up the video. What's going to happen? Are you going to answer the reason that they clicked on? Is it to learn how or why? Are you going to shock or entertain, and about what? What can they expect? Show the most shocking part of your video to grab their attention. Think, why did the viewer click? What do they want to know? What do they want to see? And confirm they'll get that in the video. So if someone clicked on how to screenshot on an iPhone, tell them, hey, today, right now, we're going to learn how to screenshot in 5 simple steps. Something like this, right? They know they're going to get what they want to do, what they came for. They know they're going to get that. Make sure you summarize. They want to learn something. If they came to be entertained video, show something shocking. This is a reason to watch this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Those first 5 seconds are crucial and key. And what I would do is I would edit your video and then go back and put that bit in the thing. It's called your hook. The first 5 seconds are your hook. So you can edit your video and then put the best bits after you've seen all your video, put them right at the beginning, or you can video yourself a hook talking and make it feel like the brief. Whichever way, but the hook, first 5 seconds, so important. Think about it, okay? Really take time to think. Or it's going to be the click-through rate. You spend all the time on your thumbnail, your click-through rate is going to be terrible. You're going to click on, they're going to come off. It's not going to be great watch time experience for them, right? And then YouTube's going to know the content isn't what it's advertised to be. So set up your problem in the opening is the next one. This is more like if you're doing a vlog. So there's some great Casey Neistat examples. He says there's always a beginning, middle, end story to his vlog. I dropped my camera. It sets up a problem. I dropped my camera. I can't get it back. Throughout the video, he then tries to get his camera off the roof. And that's pretty much the whole vlog. He sets up a problem he had. Maybe I need to go and find something. I need to discover how much something is, how to do something. Set up the problem right in the opening, how they're going to come on a journey with you to solve that problem. Also, then you're probably going to show your branding, your title, that kind of thing, or whatever you decided to do. This is all in your planning stage. And then don't forget, we've spoken about this. Take a photo for your thumbnail here if you have time to remember. Because you don't want to try and grab it from the video itself. It might be blurry. If you have time, set yourself up to take a picture for your thumbnail. Okay, so you're going to start mentioning stuff here. This is the middle section. You're going to have to mention to subscribe and give a reason why. Don't say, hey, please subscribe. Subscribe for what? Why? What are they going to get? Mention they should keep watching this video. Remind them. You've done your title. Now remind them what they're about to get, okay? But don't take too long to get to that content or they're going to get bored and think it's clickbaity and get off it. I'd made that mistake myself. Mention to comment and to get involved. So you want interactivity. You can even ask them a direct question here. What do you think? Did you have trouble finding this? Is it on your phone in the same place? Click below, for example, for that screenshot example I did. Give them a specific question to answer in the comments and how you want to hear from them. So have a subscribe button come up on your screen. You can get them on for green screen on YouTube. They're really easy to make and they can just come up, pop up in the corner to remind people, click and subscribe, to remind them. When they're watching your content, they're thinking, I like this, they see the reminder, they're going to click and subscribe. Also, remember, you're going to put cards in there. So you're going to say, you might be talking about, it's not like that time when I tried to do this on my other phone, I'm using the same example, or when I did XYZ, you can go and see that video and it comes up above their head. It slides across and shows it as you're talking about it. Time that well. Say you can go and click on that and see that now, but wait, at the end screen, I'm going to put it on there too, so they don't come away from your content. That's completely up to you. Now stick to your theme. Remember in the planning, did you stick to a theme? Did you say I want to have a notebook continuously come in and out? Do I want to cut away the stuff? Do I want to have some? Whatever your theme is, if you've done that, now's the time to stick to it so that people start recognizing it. In the middle especially, stick to it. Now overcome your obstacle in this bit. In the beginning, you've also set up your obstacle, what it is, solve it in the middle. Because the end isn't really the end and climax like a storybook in my cheat sheet here. The middle, this is where you solve it. Towards the end of the middle, solve the problem and answer their question. Now also, you've probably gone through your planning what your vlog wants to look like. So do you want to have a lot of selfie style on a mobile? Do you want to sit with a DSLR like this, whatever it is, if you decided to cut away to other footage, to external sites, whatever it is you've decided to do, also implement that in the middle section here. Okay, so now we've come to the end. Give a reason to come back. Subscribe, what do you have coming up? What can they expect? What do they not want to miss? Why? Why should they come back? Why should they subscribe? Why do they want to be a fan? Give them a little bit of a reason too. If you like that, wait till you see what I've got coming up. And if you've planned your videos in advance, you can actually say what's coming up. What's the next video? What is this? Subscribe, because the next video is this. Don't forget, do this now and you're not going to miss it. You're not going to miss it if you do this. It's in your interest to do this. And of course, when the end screen pops up, point it out. We said if you've designed something so that something comes down here, point that the video is going to be here. You can click on this to my site, subscribe, whatever it is you've decided in your layout. Do that. So post video, now you've got your video, you've edited it, you're going to start thinking about your title. So you can go back to the specific title cheat sheet. I've just put some notes down here next to the title and you can write on the cheat sheet here. Keyword at the start of title, unless it's a number or top 1, 2, 3. Use shocking word and date if applicable. Keep short and concise. And optimize on TubeBuddy. Then you got your description, and also you got a whole cheat sheet on description, but I put it on the cheat sheet here. Use keywords at the start, same as in the title. Only give an overview in the first 2 sentences of the video, and use natural language. Then you got your tags, and there's a whole cheat sheet on tags too. I've just put it on the cheat sheet here. Only 8 or so. Start with the one you want to rank for the most. That's really important. I've actually gone through some videos here and seen people doing that. I've just done some research on that myself today. It's been really interesting. But if you want to rank for something in particular, whatever it is, a place you're talking about, makeup you're talking about, product you're talking about, whatever it is, have that right at the beginning. Use a mix of broad and precise, 2 to 3 words if possible. 2 to 3 word keywords. Someone searching how to screenshot iPhone, that's a keyword. How to screenshot iPhone, etc., etc. And then variations of that question and those keywords. Remember, it's metadata. If you look at all your tags and you can't tell what your video's about, then YouTube definitely can't. Then of course thumbnail, see the notes for that. That's what you're going to be creating now. Release this on social medias. Think about your day of time of release as well. Then reply to every single comment that comes once you've launched a video. Reply to every single comment and ask them a question so that they come back again. Then here's another little trick. Go on to other videos in your niche. If you're making travel videos, makeup videos, whatever it is, go on other channels in your niche. You probably follow them already. Comment on all their videos, like all the ones from the day of the recent time. Go through and have a look at the comments that people have commented on that video, like and possibly comment on their comments, and then they come and check you out. That's a good one to do. Okay, so this is the cheat sheet. It's not going to fit every single person. It's going to be pretty damn close to it, but print it out, go for it, make notes and make your own cheat sheet if you want. Use this as a base or use this one exactly, but go through, check it out, use it. It's a great, great resource and I'm so glad I had it. It's almost like a concise version of the course. You put them all down and you make sure that every time you do a video, you've got this down to a T. Okay, that was it. That's the end of that whole section. That was a beast. Next we're going to upload a video. I'm going to go through step by step. I'm going to upload a video and give you an example of what I do, where things are, where you put things in. I probably won't fill out all the details exactly, but I'll go this way you put your title, your description. This is where this is. So you know when you're doing it, you can follow step by step with that and you know exactly where it is. Let's upload a video together. On to the next section.